Is it time for you to go buy that new car? Welcome into the Money Vehicle Movement. I'm Jedidiah Collins, your host here, where we're trying to make financial literacy a little more current and possibly even a little cooler. To navigate the road of smart car buying and ownership, we're going to discuss today some good news for anyone in the market for a new ride. Vehicle costs are actually dropping this year. Yes, you heard that right. That is even coming from the Money Vehicle team. According to AAA's latest driving cost study, the annual cost to own and operate a new vehicle has fallen to about $11,500. That's roughly just under $1,000 per month. That's a $700 decrease from last year. So, what's driving this drop in prices? Well, AAA says it's slower depreciation. Slower depreciation. That means maybe the cars are getting better made or are at least lasting longer. Depreciation, remember, is what you can quote unquote write off as the vehicle becomes less and less usable. The second reason is falling fuel prices. Well, maybe not around here where I live in the greater Seattle area, but nationwide, fuel prices are falling. And reason number three is a shift towards more affordable vehicle options. We're not all looking for that $100,000 sweet ride. Now we just want to get A to Z, easy peasy. Before you hit up the dealership thinking now's the time to go buy, a word of caution always: knowledge is best. Greg Brannon, AAA's Director of Automotive Research, reminds us it might be tempting, but always do the math first. Yes, the real question is this a good time for you to go buy that car? The truth, it's a little better than recent years, but overall, owning a car still comes with a lot of costs that add to your financial system, hopefully, your money buckets. As you look at thinking about making a move, consider your actual transportation needs in today's world. Do you really need a pickup truck with a hefty towing capacity? What exactly are you towing? Because here's a fun stat. Owning a pickup truck costs $6,400 or about 43% more per year than a small sedan. Now, I get it. You do lose some coolness factor points, but $6,000 more dollars in your pocket, you can do some pretty cool things with 6 grand. To help figure out what your future costs might look like, AAA's got a handy tool called Your Driving Costs, a customizable calculator that shows the costs for different vehicles, both new and used, across categories and model years. So jump online, ask ChatGPT, try to find the way to run your numbers and see where it fits into your cash management system. A hot topic right now are electric vehicles. Cheaper to own than powered cars? Well, AAA says not anymore. Fuel prices are the culprit. Gasoline prices have dropped 12.8%, now about 13 cents per mile, but electricity for EV charging has actually gone up slightly to about 16 cents per kilowatt per hour. That means you leave your car charging all night, it's going to charge you some in the morning. Filling up in a gas tank, we know that cost, even though it's coming down a little bit. That kilowatt per hour means although EVs, electronic vehicles, do still offer fuel savings, they no longer outweigh the higher purchase price. That original purchase price is going to be higher for an electronic car, and the overall upkeep and ownership costs. Remember, like my mom just found out, if you get in an accident with an electric vehicle, very hard to fix. Why? They haven't fixed and changed thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of them over the last few decades. These are new cars, more expensive, means harder to correct. The data shows EVs are now even more expensive overall across the board compared to traditional gas vehicles. But if saving the environment and getting an EV is still more valuable to you, that should weigh into your decision. Why did vehicle costs decline at all? Well, depreciation, the difference between what you pay and what the car is worth later, dropped on average $4,334 per year. That's a pretty big deal. And finances charges fell 15%, largely due to lower sticker prices on new vehicles this year, that one that you and I see. Fuel costs also dropped, playing a role, nearly about 13%. Will these lower costs stick around? That's the $1 million question. And honestly, only you can answer that for yourself. As you hear some of the quotes, many things can change: fuel prices, interest rates, and all the ownership costs. If anyone could predict what's going to happen in the future, they'd be a millionaire. So, what's the best advice you have for buying a car? First, create a realistic number. What is a consistent month to month number, as well as what is that sticker price number for the vehicle? You should look at it both from a monthly and a annual ownership cost. Second, make sure you negotiate when you go talk, and keep your negotiations separate. The price of the car, the financing, and any trade-in value should all be negotiated separately. Third, get pre-approved from your bank or credit union before talking numbers with your dealers. That's going to give you leverage. That financial reputation, credit score is going to play an impact here. So make sure you get that ironed out before you walk onto the lot. Finally, don't just stick to the dealership. Exploring online options and used cars outside the lot to find the best deal, continuing to build your leverage. That's all for the Money Vehicle Movement podcast today. Keep driving your money vehicle, and we will see you at the next stop.